following is a presentation of Spring Hill Sports Live. It's time for Spring Hill High School Athletics. On your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by It's time for the Broncos, right here on your home for Spring Hill High School Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
Hello, welcome one, welcome all to Spring Hill Sports Live's home opener for the traveling Spring Hill Broncos tonight as they travel all the way to Olathe at the Olathe District Activity Center to take on the Olathe North Eagles. My name is Tristan Jordan. I'll be on play-by-play for you this evening, joined as always by my co-commentator Alex Smith. He's running the camera and covering all that juicy color going down on the pitch this evening. So on the left side of your screen, attacking to the right in the white with the purple numbers, are your home Broncos. And attacking from right to left on your screen in black jerseys with white numbers are the home team, the Olathe North Eagles. We'll start with the starting lineups before we get into this with the pregame show sponsored by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, locally owned and operated for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs is Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Learn more at comfortdesigns.net or call 913-592-4453. Special thank you to Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. The ball is underway, so let's talk starting lineups. For the Olathe North Eagles, tonight's starting lineup is Katie Stockhoff, Kaylin Hitchcock, Aaron Rottinghouse, Kate Figgins, Barrett Shores, Joby Smith, Bella Heilman, Kinley Rodell, Dylan Davies, Carissa Knope, and Abby Burton. And now for your Spring Hill Broncos as they start pressing forward in the middle of the park, looking for something going on the far side of the pitch as the Eagles say no and try to go the other way. The starters for the Broncos this evening are Avery Young, Veronica Ferris, Elizabeth Williams, Jessica Rousseau, Olivia Infante, Elsie Sprague, Izzy Ferris, Gracie Oppo, Haley Bergman, Ella Buchholz, and Peyton Vogelbacher. Keep an eye on number 20, Vogelbacher, this evening in the pregame, speaking with assistant coach Matt Lundy for the Broncos. He highlighted Vogelbacher as the highlight of this attack. He said she will be the one scoring all of their goals in any type of situation as the Eagles look to get things started, and they sky one over the bar early. They sent the cross in from the far side of the park in towards the box, and it just went absolutely nowhere near the goal. It's Barrett Shores, the sophomore from Olathe North, sent that one out for a goal kick. Good start from the Broncos as they've had the bulk of possession, pressing in towards the right side of the pitch and then giving up that one chance as Ferris comes down this near sideline. Heavy touch, gives up possession, but good pressure as the Eagles try to play out of the heavy Bronco press here early in this half. Ball down to this near side. Shores looking for the cross. 2 Broncos are there to meet her, and finally it's cleared away. Vogelbacher pressing onto this as she tries to show us early why the coach was highlighting her. Tackle there at the end. Referee plays advantage as the home team try to go the opposite direction. Poor pass there as the Eagles now trying to go on the attack. Forward ball's poked away, all the way to Shores on the near sideline. Trying to make her way past her defender, and well done there by the Broncos defender number 6, Jessica Russo. Just a junior Russo. This team from the Broncos only has 3 seniors on it. Another highlight from the coaching staff in Spring Hill was that we are not going to have much leadership in this team, but those 3 seniors that we do have can certainly do far more than just lead a very young Broncos team as they look to rebuild.
Yeah, Tristan, Alex, I'm checking in with you guys. Happy to have Tristan here with me for soccer season. I know Spring Hill folks are easily tired of my voice by now, but apologies for that little bit of a difficulty there getting this game underway, a little computer crash action. It's just not as reliable once we go outdoors, once we travel to various venues as we might be used to at home, but really excited for this girls' soccer season.
Absolutely. Elizabeth Williams there doing a nice job of maintaining possession, pulling it back, looking for options all around her, and then eventually possession was given up to the Eagles, and that's led us to where we are as the Eagles now press towards the far corner flag, trying to cut around the Bronco defender. And the ball eventually goes out of play for a home team throw-in.
5 minutes gone, Tristan. Looks pretty even so far, both teams kind of attacking, and as you might expect for a 5A team coming in against a 6A team, especially a 5A team that is very young, kind of inexperienced, you might see Vogelbacher on the counter, heavy dose of that.
Absolutely. Heavy counter-attacking will certainly be a factor, and it's pretty easy for her being the strong center forward that she is with the wheels she's got from track season as she's trying to warm up for later this spring. The starting lineups were brought to you by Perfect Details Salon and Suites, a full-service salon. The Broncos look to start this game in style, and style is what you'll find at Perfect Details Salon and Suites. Stylists, nail, lash, and spray tan technicians, massage therapists, and estheticians will get you back in the game looking and feeling your best. Book your next appointment at SalonPerfectDetails.com. The Broncos now passing it forward for Veronica Ferris down this near sideline. Keeps it in play, and that's a heavy touch, and it goes out of play for an Eagles goal kick.
Yeah, and would have had a good opportunity there, Ferris. The defenders from Olathe North kind of retreating into the box. They were not going to contest her running down that right side with the ball. She would have had space for the cross.
They were definitely allowing her plenty of space there, and if we know anything from last season, it's that Veronica Ferris is all too confident on the ball at times. She is happy to weave her way through defenders, especially when they offer her as much space as they were there.
And Tristan, can we appreciate what the Eagles just did? They just passed out of the back. Short passing. We never see that at this level.
Never indeed. And a nice stop there from Avery Young, the junior goalkeeper.
And you saw him really go straight through the middle of the field with that possession that they got from the goal kick.
Indeed, and now the Broncos are going to try to go through the middle of the pitch, trailing it back. Russo on the ball. Nice play towards the space. A little heavy on the pass, but that's okay. It's their first game of the season, and Fonte couldn't quite get there. And now the Eagles look to get something going, and they're attacking third. Went for the nutmeg, and no thank you, say the Broncos, as Izzy Ferris blocks that one, and then clears it down line. Official in the center of the pitch calls a foul. Broncos will get decent field position for this forward progression.
And this is something interesting to watch, too, how much various teams that we'll see throughout the season will commit bodies forward for these type of free kick opportunities. Maybe this one's a little deep to kind of pile the bodies forward, as you see Spring Hill pretty much in their typical formation here, midfielders clumping up there and the 3 kind of forward players. But that is, especially early on, you can kind of sense the theme for a team, what they're going to do, how they're going to approach those free kick situations.
Absolutely, and it was Jessica Rousseau who took that free kick. She traditionally last season we saw her feature more as a right back or a left back in those fullback roles, but due to the massive number of seniors last year who graduated out of this program, there's been a major shuffle of the deck in terms of who's in what positions, with a few exceptions here and there with Veronica Ferris and Peyton Vogelbacher and Olivia Infante already having solidified their roles in those positions. But Rousseau is one of those players that was moved more centrally as she now plays the halfback role, the center back in that right side of the defense.
And that's something you really see at a lot of levels of the game. Developing players do play outside. You typically have more time on the ball, fewer decisions to make versus a middle-of-the-field player who has all kinds of options all the time.
Shores now for the Eagles. Good pressure from Rousseau, who's found herself back in her traditional right back role. Heilman looking for a shot from the center of the box, or outside the center of the box, and it was eventually cleared away anyway. Broncos are having none of this pressure, as the Eagles have to trail all the way back and simply reset their attack. Good clearance there. Goes out for an Eagle throw.
Does look like the Broncos going to be mostly on the defensive side as we're now about 8-9 minutes into this one, just kind of getting the camera flow myself, flipping over to that role and kind of zoomed in, been stuck on this side of the pitch here for a while. I will say we got a great viewpoint. This is a really nice facility.
Yes, it is. Olathe definitely knows what they're doing when it comes to athletics. This, of course, is the home pitch for not only Olathe North, but also Olathe East, as both of those schools are within a decent space. As a shot from way outside the box goes skying just wide of the goal, and that will be a goal kick for the Broncos. So, Alex, let's talk about some keys to the game. The keys to the game are brought to you by Amy Kelly Homes of Reese Nichols Real Estate. The key to finding your dream home is having someone who makes you already feel at home. Key in at amykelly.reesenichols.com. Alex, what would you say the keys to the game are for this Broncos team? And we will get right back to that as Peyton Vogelbacher pressing with pace, cutting it back and forth, clears it off of the defender and out for a Broncos corner kick. Fantastic counterattack there from Peyton Vogelbacher. But Alex, give us a couple keys to the game.
Yeah, so these counterattacking opportunities like the one you just saw are going to be key, and how many of those can the Broncos capitalize on? That time, that was a great run with the ball by Vogelbacher. However, she did have a free player running wide open on the left side, decided to drop the shoulder. Like I said, still made a good move, still made a good attempt on goal, but how these opportunities are going to go for the Broncos are going to dictate this game against a 6A opponent.
And there is another opportunity that will inevitably go begging as Veronica Ferris gets a touch, just tries to one-time it off a half volley in the middle of the box, just in front of the penalty spot, and it goes over the net.
It's hard. It's hard to be clinical early in the season. In basketball season, you see a lot of players miss free throws early in the season. A lot of these players, I did some sleuthing online on Twitter, as I usually do. I can tell you at least the Eagles, their first practice was on the full roster, a full team for very long. And that does make playing on the counter, having less of the ball, even more difficult, unfortunately, for the visitors.
Absolutely. And with Spring Hill having spring break just last week,
that's right,
they're trying to get back into shape, back into form after maybe a couple of vacations, and the Eagles now pressing the other way. Good defense there.
Excellent.
As that ball goes out of play for a goal kick, and Spring Hill will look to play out of the back. You mentioned difficult playing on such short warm-ups, right? So early in the season, another thing that may be difficult for these players is the temperature. It is 47 degrees, but it certainly feels like it is right around freezing here.
Yeah, it does. It's cold. We got the window open in the press box to give you guys the best viewpoint that we can here on Spring Hill Sports Live, and I might throw my coat on.
It is definitely chilly. I still have my coat and my sweater, and I'm about to go pull out a bonnet just for extra measure as Olivia Infante picks up a ball, looking for the counterattack for Veronica Ferris. She will get there. Veronica Ferris pressing in towards the box, cutting it back on one defender, and back again, scissoring it straight through her, and it goes out for another corner kick for the Broncos.
So I think the key for these corners, that time maybe it wasn't as obvious. The passing options were not as freely available, but the combination play is going to be important because even with a Vogelbacher or a very rapid Russo, it's going to be really hard to just one-woman army, just go against the whole team and score yourself. And that is something that, as those attacks do develop later in the game, we're more likely to see.
Absolutely. This corner is sent in by Olivia Infante. It takes a couple of bounces off of some Eagles' heads. Eventually, it's cut forward. Broncos still in possession. It's sort of pinging around now, and it's eventually cleared away towards Jessica Russo, who collects just about the 30-yard line. If this was an American football pitch, Russo trying to still apply some pressure high into her attacking third before Eagles are eventually forced to clear it downfield towards the midway line. And the Broncos now will try to play out of this pressure, going the opposite direction. Forfeit possession. And the Eagles back on it.
And you see this where the space is on your screen. You see number 12 for Olathe. That's been the same spot that the space has been there for Spring Hill as well. That far side field getting really compact for both teams defensively. That's going to leave openings.
And good center ball there and good awareness, even more so as Veronica Ferris now trying to go on the counterattack. Peyton Vogelbacher is able to hold her line, says the assistant official on the near sideline. Vogelbacher pressing in towards the keeper and just past the net. It bounces off of the outside of the near side of the net, and it goes wide. But she had the goalkeeper beat by a mile. She almost could have taken an extra touch around the keeper and had an open net.
That time, no question about the decision. Vogelbacher did not have any support. So far up ahead of the pack and did manage really well. Nice skill there to stay onside. That is what plagued her game last year. She was an extremely good player, an extremely efficient goal-scoring threat, but a lot of those Spring Hill attacks last season would die because of the offside flag. So good to see her keeping onside there.
Definitely good indeed. As one of the solo seniors on this roster, she's definitely got to level up her game, and clearly there's an instance of it in that last attack. Spring Hill giving up a pretty heavy tackle just outside the box. This is really good positioning for the Eagles. They are going to look to get their home opener started right against the visiting Broncos with potentially a free kick, goal, or a set piece of some sort. We'll see what they've been working on in preseason.
Yeah, this is the type of range where you do have options, and likely you have practiced something on the training ground. But it looks like we're just going to have one player up there for the Eagles.
The junior captain, Joby Smith, number 15 for the Eagles, is behind the ball to take it. She's got 5 teammates in the box, 2 more floating just outside the D on the top of it, and 2 more back the halfway line guarding Vogelbacher should a counterattack occur. Smith opts for the shot, and a massive save from Avery Young as she parries that down before it's cleared away by Jessica Russo. And that'll go out for a throw-in with decent field position for the Eagles as everybody resets.
Yeah, and that was interesting to see defensively from the Broncos. They were not holding any type of offside line. They were instead using a player to guard either post, which, of course, you do get more spatial coverage of the goal, less space to shoot for Olathe North. But you had a lot of Olathe players in there looking for that rebound.
And that definitely is seen more, those post-to-post defenders is more used during corner kicks.
Right.
As that header is off target, but Avery Young doesn't care. She wants that reception practice and dives down to her right, our left, to make that protective block.
Yeah, good start for her a couple of times. She's been called into action now. And honestly, these cold conditions, that probably impacts a goalkeeper's ability to feel the ball, to squeeze the ball, to handle it more so than maybe any other position.
Absolutely. When it's as cold as it is, that ball can be as hard as a rock at times. So especially as a goalkeeper who's not moving as much as a field player, she won't mind getting into this game early and being tested a little bit here and there. Oof. Certainly don't want much more of it as the Eagles are trying to provide it. A shot that time, and it goes into the back of the net. Fantastic weaving ability off the right side in towards the box. And number 5, Kaylin Hitchcock, the sophomore Eagle, strikes the board first.
Yeah, that's a good goal for the Eagles. Unfortunate for Spring Hill because Dylan Davies, the junior number 20, was in midfield. She just ran up and booted that ball. And then the ball caught some wind, caught some backspin, and a pursuing Eagles player got to it first in the corner and then really just skinned past two defenders and fed a perfect cross that was just smashed into the goal.
It looked like it was Kate Figgins on that far side on the right wing who just
really
simply weaved and bobbed her way into a beautiful cross that found Hitchcock, who slotted it home. And the home team goes up first. The Broncos now find themselves at a bit of a deficit. They've had their opportunities. We shouldn't count them out because they certainly can come back. Last season, they only allowed an average of about a goal and a half per game, just 23 goals allowed in their 18 matches last season. So nothing to be too concerned of just quite yet, especially considering how potent their attack was last season, knocking in 110 goals, which is roughly 6 goals a game last season. Although the Eagles are back on the offensive, able to keep on sides, goes Figgins, trying to cut it back, and eventually the Broncos are able to dispossess as Sprague cut that ball out. Now it's with Infante. She's sending it forward, looking for the run of Sprague, and just overcooks it. And the Eagles will get a decent amount of time to simply reset and play out of the back, unless they want to let it roll out. And they do. And it goes out for a goal kick.
So might have another chance here to watch the Eagles play with the ball on the floor, play out from the back. And personally, that's a style that I think many people enjoy watching. Obviously, there are reasons that you just want to get the ball out of your defensive area. There's a reason that, even professional teams around the world, they don't all play out from the back, even though that is an emerging trend in the game. But I really like to see that at this level. Frankly, it's not something I've seen at either the boys or the girls game. Sometimes even get defenders coming back because not all the goalies are even good with their feet on the goal kicks.
When it comes to playing out of the back at this level, I will always encourage it, just simply for no reason other than the fact that it encourages passing, it encourages that teamwork, and a lot of times in educational sport, we'll see players who simply want to take it themselves, and they want to be the hero. They see their names in the school newspaper, in the lights of the area media systems, as the Eagles now looking to see their names in lights as a shot goes deflected that time into the hands of Young, no problem. Erin Rottinghouse looking to add her name to the score sheet. Speaking of...
That's a good kick out right there, too.
And the Broncos go the other way as Vogelbacher trying to get onto the ball. It looked like she was just trying to run side by side, parallel towards the goal. And the defender opts for their own storyline as Figgins now cutting in towards the middle of the box. Middle of the pitch. Eagles opting for the reset. Now sending it all the way out to this near touchline. Shores is able to control it.
These wingers have a lot of skill for the Eagles.
Workman opted for the deep shot, and it went into the hands of Young. No problem that time for the junior keeper. We've been speaking about the Broncos' inexperience and how they have such a young team. Well, on the flip side, that Eagles have just as many seniors. Both teams have 3, and now I'm counting with my full set of hands, and I'm seeing a 4th senior on this roster for the Eagles. But still, there's inexperience on both sides in terms of number of games at this level that they've gotten at the varsity level with their schools. A lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen for both rosters, so it'll definitely be interesting to see how this game continues to grow as we are 20 minutes into this match with the Eagles up 1-0.
I just think it's so interesting to find out how these teams will line up over the season.
Eagles looking for a cross in towards the box. Possession comes. The shot goes skying over. That would have been good for a field goal, but nothing in this sport.
Yeah, Workman, the substitute that time, showed what she could do, putting in that cross that was gathered by Young last time, and then little errant with the shot there, but I love to just see how these teams line up over the course of the season, and frankly, the more players you have on the field, the more interesting that gets. With basketball, you only have 5 people. That's my background. That's the sport that I come from, and I remember last season the Bronco girls team opened with a game against Blue Valley. They ended up losing that game on a last-minute goal. I believe it was 4-3, and that was a heartbreaking loss. That but that really showed how offensive, how open all their play would be.
And an absolute golazo for the Eagles as they strike their second home. Kaylin Hitchcock, not one, but two first-time touches. This time an absolute worldie from inside the box. Takes it clean. First touch. Oh, my, what a goal.
And Tristan, I didn't even leave any space for you because I didn't even sense that was an opportunity. Out of almost nothing, the Eagles doubled their tally, and my goodness, the technique required to place that ball in the goal where she did. I mean, you don't even have to place it when you take a shot like that. So long as it's on goal, very little chance the keeper can do anything, but it ends up looking so much more impressive on the highlight reel when it flies into the side net.
That it does, and the Broncos had just made a substitution at left back. Maya Lozano checking in for the first time this evening while we were talking tactics, and the Eagles saw that, and they just went right after Lozano. They knew she was probably a little cold on the bench and hadn't got her sea legs under her. Just unfortunate for the sophomore checking into the game and immediately getting the pressure. Score now reads 2-0 as the Broncos start to face an even higher hill as it slowly grows. Another substitution here as Jessica Russo will come off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily say alarm bells, but not fantastic that you haven't seen a Spring Hill attack in between these two Eagle goals, because we did see multiple good opportunities, multiple chances on the break for Spring Hill before that first Eagle goal. Haven't not seen it since. I think that could be due to what you just alluded to, Tristan. Substitutions coming onto the field, players getting a little more fatigued, and that kind of starting unit is no longer together. Even if you have 8-9 of them out there, you get a couple of substitutes and things just match up a little bit differently all over the field.
Absolutely, and it may be part of head coach Eric Schwartz's tactics to weave in more substitutes to keep those legs fresh. It is very early in the season, being the first game of the season. And not only that, but typically when it's cold like this, you'll see many coaches try to use subs a little more frequently to keep their bench players warm as well, so you're not getting a complete drop in quality when a new player comes on. The Eagles will take this throw in to get the game back started. Davies sending it forward to the woman with a brace, Hitchcock, whose pass goes into the path of Sprague. Sprague started this game as the left back, was subbed off. Lozano came on, and then immediately after that goal comes back in, and Russo was taken off. So maybe there's some tactical discussions going on with the head coach Eric Schwartz. Nice clearance there from Izzy Ferris. Unfortunately for Vogelbacher, it just bounced right under her boot. That's some rust that will come with time. It will go away. Nothing to worry about for these Broncos. And it looks like Spring Hill are ready to make yet another substitution as she is standing right on the halfway line. Good touch there as Friels trails it back for the Eagles.
And Tristan, you know what I just love about the game at this level is that we can talk about the tactics and the alignment and all of those things and how they're affecting the result. And yet we can also just experience a moment with a volley and a goal like that just supersedes that technical ability, that just moment of genius. That's like I said, that's why we love the beautiful game as a whole, but specifically this level of the game where you see both things, where you see a locked-in tactical battle, but you also see those small moments.
Absolutely, and a foul is called here on the Broncos, so the Eagles will be just on the edge of their attacking third with a nice set-piece opportunity. They've got 4 or 5 bodies in and around the box, a 6th one walking towards it now. They're leaving 3 back to guard Vogelbacher should they get a counterattack. This ball sent in high towards Avery Young. She fists it with both hands just to the edge of the box before it's being reset by the Eagles. Trying to cut it back towards the baseline, looking for the cross. They find the goal scorer in Hitchcock. She sends it central. The shot is blocked that time. Young coming all the way out. It's going to be cleared off the line. It's still not in. And finally it goes into the back of the net. Eagles up 3-0 in the first 25 minutes.
And I think, in the spirit of the high school game, we'll let Olathe North claim that goal. That one may have crossed the line just as part of that scramble with the Spring Hill defenders retreating on net. But fortunately for the referee, he was not given a decision to make there as the Spring Hill player, or the Olathe player rather, coming in and just smashing the ball.
Absolutely. So that makes it 3 goals for Kaylin Hitchcock in under 10 minutes. The 17th minute, the 21st, and then her third and final in the 26th. So they will leave her out there, try to get her more and more goals. And they actually just subbed her off, bringing out a new player, telling her, take a rest, young lady. You are a sophomore on this team, and you are proving to be far more of a leader than we ever could have expected.
And the score bug there on your screen now matching the scoreboard that we have on the pitch here as the Broncos, again, no attack between those 2 Eagle goals, some good free kicks and some good opportunities for Olathe North, who are just pouring it on after that initial surge by the Broncos.
And this new crop of talent at Olathe North seems to really be coming true under the tutelage of Craig Jerfin. They averaged just about a goal a game last season, and already they have 3 in their home opener. So they are looking to get their 4th here as a beautiful corner comes in towards the penalty spot. It's headed towards the near sideline before it's eventually cleared away by Sprague.
Right, and that's a goal a game in the Sunflower. And Sunflower League is tough, especially for any girls' sport. Sunflower League is just an incredible talent factory, producing tons of college players, whether you're talking volleyball, whether you're talking girls soccer or basketball, really doesn't matter. This is an exceptional opponent from a really good conference.
And you bring up a good point, highlighting that they are a part of the Sunflower League. These 2 schools are in 2 different divisions. They are not supposed to be playing each other in the eyes of Keisha and in the eyes of the governing bodies of high school sports in Kansas, but here they are. The Broncos are up to the challenge. They say they're up to the challenge, so let's see if they can mount a comeback. We've certainly seen something like that before from the Broncos. Without their seniors this year, they may find it a bit more difficult, but they certainly have it in them to come back in this game.
And I think that's another aspect of the season that ends up being so intriguing. Nice little 1-2, one-touch passing here in the middle of the park.
Looking for Vogelbacher, and she is offsides. Unlucky for her, as she was calling for the ball, allowed herself to stray just offside by the time the ball was finally played by Infante. And at that point, she was easily visible to the naked eye that she was offside. You don't have to be an assistant referee to spot that, but that's okay. That shows courage. That shows a bit of purpose. She's trying to get her team going. She's trying to be that leader down there on the pitch, trying to jumpstart this attack to try to climb up this mountain. Ball's put back into play as Workman heads it forward for the Eagles before it's covered up by Sprague, who clears it. Throw in awarded to the Eagles on this near side, and both teams will opt for substitutions.
I will say one thing I noticed in the boys' game this fall, and I'm noticing it here in this game, is the subs are very efficient. You know, sometimes the ball comes out on the near side, the subs have to come in on the far side, and sometimes that would take a while, and I think that was, whether we like to admit it or not, that was part of the delaying the game type of strategy, or even because they stop the clock sometimes, even to just cool off pressure, even to just relieve your team for a moment. It was something that coaches use, and I didn't read the points of emphasis this season for the Kansas high school soccer refs. I did for basketball, but it seems to me like that is an aspect of the game that is much improved this year.
Absolutely. Olathe North with another opportunity, and they will take it seemingly with ease, as that is a 4th goal for the 6A program from Olathe North. This time the goal goes to Erin Rottinghouse, number 6.
And that's, I think, the first goal of the bunch that the Broncos will want to do better on. That ball just bouncing a whole lot of space between those 2 Broncos central defenders. And, you know, that's what happens when you are defending for the entire half. It gets hard to focus. There's a throw-in on the near side. You get sucked in a little bit, and you know, you can leave space in a lot of areas of the pitch, but the center of the box is not one of them.
Absolutely. And it was a really nice through ball that was played to find that space that Rottinghouse had already found herself in just on the edge of the box, as now Ferris trying to play out of pressure, looking for her sister down this near sideline, and it will be gathered or at least ushered out of play by the center back from Olathe North, as a goal kick will be awarded to the home team. You know, in the opening 5-10 minutes or so, this was a really tight affair. Mm-hmm. Both teams were having opportunities. It was an end-to-end game. It felt almost like a basketball game in a way. But then it almost got opened up. And that first goal that you allow as a team, it's a test, right?
Right.
And so allowing that first one, you say, okay, we can let one by. That's fine. But then with a player as special as Hitchcock clearly is, putting in a hat trick in 10 minutes, that can do a lot to the psyche. But again, this Broncos program is not weak. It's a different level. They're a different class system. They can come back. There's still something to be taken away from this game. You're only 30 minutes in. Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt. We've already seen the goal thread in this team. I thought the best attack was that one where Vogelbacher dropped the right shoulder, went past the defender when she had a runner on the left side, ended up with a good chance anyway. But there were 2 or 3 counters that were clustered around that one that showed what the goal threat is. And again, interested to see how Spring Hill will look when cast as the larger team at a 5A against 4A Lewisburg.
Absolutely. And while results like this, as Vogelbacher looking for a shot, takes it with the right foot, takes a deflection off of 2 defenders, and eventually goes out of play for a corner kick for Spring Hill. Good work there, creating a whole lot out of not much there, Alex, as a corner kick is awarded to the Broncos.
And I think, we're not manually counting corners here, but Broncos may have the corner lead in this game, or at least, close to matching it. Haven't seen many corners for the Eagles. Most of those Bronco corners came in those first moments, kind of underpins what we're trying to say about the Spring Hill team here.
Third corner comes in now. It bounces off of a Eagle defender before it's put out for yet another corner, the fourth now, and now both teams are tied on corners, 4-4.
There we go.
Can they bring it level off of this set piece?
There you go, Tristan. I said, we're not manually tracking. Tristan is manually tracking corners. Turns out I can't do that while doing the camera.
I was keeping it in my head, but now I've got it down on paper as Rousseau is able to get onto this ball. She clips it very nicely in towards the box. The shot and a goal for the Broncos. They pull one back. Fantastic clipping ball from Jessica Rousseau, who's been on the pitch, off the pitch, and back on again. That right there is why you keep her on this pitch. And the Broncos pull one back, 4-1.
And I did not hear the official PA announcement. I thought, was that Vogelbacher in the middle of the box there that chipped that in, or who was that just put that in? I want to, correctly get that out there. I'm not sure that, big scramble, and even you see on your screen these Bronco jerseys look just bright white. It is hard to that's that's something we improve on as the season goes as well, but a really good finish anyhow.
Absolutely. It was either Kylie Sprague or it was Peyton Vogelbacher, one of those tall blondes in that attacking line.
Yep.
We will definitely get clarification on that for you as we go along, but just really well done from the Broncos, not giving up on this game. I've been telling you the whole time, Alex.
Yes.
You're over here nodding your head.
Yes.
We're on the same page. We're with you back at home in
yeah.
Spring Hill. The Broncos are not out of this game, although they did give up a set piece just outside of the box on this near sideline. Number 15, Joby Smith, the junior Eagle for Olathe North, gets set to take this free kick. She's got 4 teammates in the box, one just in front of Avery Young. Clipping it, it's a shot on goal. Avery Young, immense goalkeeping, charges off her line, pounces on that ball. She's not letting another one get past.
Yeah, and that's why that no offside line on those free kicks scares me, because you force your goalkeeper to run through a bunch of Olathe North players to make that. It does make it look, like you said, just a very impressive, very good piece of goalkeeping. But, man, that made me nervous.
The only person who didn't have nerves on that play was Avery Young, I'll tell you that, as a throw-in goes now for Olathe North. It's blocked once, and now we have Workman working her way to possess this ball for North as Infante gets on it. Vogelbacher looking for Ferris on this near sideline. It's parried forward for Olathe North.
Yeah, Vogelbacher just frustrated touch, letting her down. Really like the idea, though, to spread it wide quickly.
North looking for the central ball. It's not there, so they have to reset. Davies sending it wide to the far side this time for Fisheru. Great passing from the Eagles and even better defending that time from the Broncos. Noticing the player coming in on her right, the ball on her left, simply opting for a quick little one-touch clearance. Puts it out for a throw-in for the home team. Broncos not wanting to allow a fifth to go in. That ball's headed towards the box, and it's gathered by Avery Young. No problem as she calmly collects. Looking to redistribute.
And let me just say, that first and that second goal, both of those were very special. Those were goals of the quality that you do not often see that the Eagles scored. And, obviously you can't just say, well, if you take those away, it's a closer game because every goal counts as one. That's
Absolutely.
how it works.
But in terms of an educational setting, right?
Right.
Fantastic goalkeeping there from Avery Young, and it was even better defending, honestly, from Haley Bergman, who is shielding the attacker off the ball, allowing her goalkeeper to come out. Great conversation there between the sophomore defender and the junior goalkeeper. Broncos showing some highlights, some sparkle, some pizzazz here in these last few minutes as we just have about 5 minutes remaining before the halftime whistle. Free kick sounded for Olathe North just at that halfway line on the far side of the pitch. They will look to pull one more back. But to your point, Alex, this has been a very one-sided game for the middle of this half. Mm-hmm. But at the beginning of it, it was even. And now the Eagles looking to slot a fifth, and they do out of nowhere, it feels. Fifth goal. Number 22, Abby Burton, the sophomore midfielder.
And that one hurts. That one hurts. You can see on the reaction of the Spring Hill backline. And I think what we're seeing is the Spring Hill attack is up at this level right now. To begin the season, they can play with the Eagles. This Spring Hill backline right now still got a little bit of ways to go before they get to that level.
And their two center backs are Ella Buschultz and Haley Bergman, and they're not to drag them, but they're young, right?
Right.
They are both tall women. They are tall players. Being the center back, that's an important attribute to have, but you also want a bit of experience back there. One of them's a freshman, one of them's a sophomore. Both were on JV last season. A few minutes for Bergman with the varsity squad in choice games as Olathe North looking to get their sixth, and they will do so. Haley Young doing everything she can to cut out that angle, running all the way to the edge of her box, making herself as big as possible. But it doesn't matter as Olathe North just continuing to batter the Broncos here on their season opener.
Yeah, and I thought there was at least maybe a possibility that one would be ruled out for offside, kind of panned the camera and tried to look at that far side linesman, but none was forthcoming, much to the dismay of the Bronco defenders.
So goals in the 36th to Abby Burton, and then another goal in the 37th to Joby Smith. Just an onslaught of pressure after that Broncos goal that came not long before. Kaylin Hitchcock playing this ball forward. The girl with the hat trick, sending it on, looking to get a seventh for the Eagles as they head in towards the halftime whistle.
And this just a sport where your mentality and not allowing your head to drop is just so important. Basketball, you can call a timeout and regroup things and get a word from coach. But I kind of alluded to that fifth goal, that hurt. That hurt the Spring Hill players who, probably my favorite part about the Bronco goal that was scored was how quickly and how determined the players picked that ball out of the net and ran right back to the center line. They were fired up, ready to go. That's exactly why that fifth goal hurt so much. And then you felt the spirit kind of dropping. You felt that spirit down, and that may at least have contributed to conceding that sixth goal.
And as I was mentioning right before the Eagles got that sixth goal, is that in educational sport, you can sort of take those worldy goals, like the goal 1 and goal 2 from the Eagles. You could take those with a grain of salt, right? The coach can say, look, no one in this world is going to stop that goal, especially not at this level. So let's look at it as, while the scoreboard isn't actually, and it won't do any good to say that it is, but you can look at it from a 2-1 standpoint at that time. Now it's 4-1, but at that moment, they had only given up 2 team goals, right? They had done a nice job defensively, only allowing a few gaps in their defense outside of those 2 worldy goals. But at this point, now you've allowed 4 team goals, right? You're slowly giving up more space. You're allowing more leaks in the defense as another ball goes to this far side. The Eagles able to play through the pressure. Hitchcock sending the clipping cross in towards the box before it's parried away by the Broncos. Good pressure in the box. Center official says play on. Clean tackle. Ferris on the ball. Finding Infante. Sprague barreling down the far side of the pitch. Takes a heavy touch, trying to get back onto the ball. It's cleared away, but the Broncos with a minute and a half trying to get something positive going before they go into the locker room. Trying they go as this throw-in's taken quickly by Sprague in for Infante. Back to Sprague, looking at Vogelbacher in the box. Ball's ended up being a shot with the curve of it, and it is collected by the goalkeeper and redistributed back out to Workman. Olathe North now trying to get going on the counterattack. Rousseau clips it to the near side. Oppo on the ball, looking long. Opts for a trail back to Rousseau, who is wrong-footed, and back towards the Bronco net go the Eagles. Central ball played just outside the box, trailed back to Hitchcock. Nice Maradona turn there from Hitchcock. Izzy Ferris steps in, cuts it out, and trails it back to Young, who clears it back to Infante. Infante looking for Vogelbacher in the middle of the park. It's cleared away. Hitchcock will regain possession just at the halfway line. 30 seconds to go till halftime.
Yeah, this Hitchcock is a special player, and I mean, you see that in flashes in the box, but you see it continually in the center of the park. You can really see it with turns like that, with just a game sense like that for where the space is going to be behind her.
10 seconds to go now as a beautiful ball is played through. Ferris coming in. 5 seconds now. Centered ball. It's free in the middle of the box on the penalty spot, and it's poked away. And that will be the half. Good highlights there. Positive things to take away if you're Spring Hill at the very end. The last minute and a half or so, really well done from Spring Hill. They gave up the opportunity at the other end and then immediately turned and tried to get the counterattack. A few more seconds, and this game could be a little closer as we head into the halftime with this right after these messages.
Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, their number one goal is to protect you and your family. Insurance is complicated and not one size fits all. Michael and his team take pride in the relationship they build with their client members. Let them work with you to customize a plan that protects your livelihood and your future. To learn more, call Michael Grant at Farm Bureau Financial Services 913-592-2336 or visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill.
Are you looking for a trusted heating and air conditioning contractor? Look no further than Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Comfort Designs Heating and Air has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated right here in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net. Or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Rain Dance Studios is the area's newest dance studio with professionally trained staff, a brand new facility, and classes for every dance and tumbling level. Rain Dance Studios is everything you never knew you needed in a dance family. With an emphasis on customer experience, exquisite dance technique, and dancer confidence, Rain is the dance studio for every aspiring dancer. Come join Spring Hill's premier dance experience and get the royal treatment. Schedule a free 2-week trial by visiting raindancestudios.com.
At Olathe Health, we perform cutting-edge surgical procedures because changing lives with innovative care drives us, one patient at a time. Olathe Health. Advanced healthcare, advancing lives.
If you're off your game because of pain or injury, turn to Olathe Health because orthopedics is our game. Joint repair and replacement, chronic conditions and injuries, hand surgery, sports medicine. Make an appointment today.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alyssa O'Connor, and I would like to welcome you to Sozo Chiropractic.
So many people only seek out a chiropractor when they are in pain, but ongoing wellness care helps you deal with stress and be healthier. At Sozo Chiropractic, the focus is on holistic wellness for any age. I am Webster certified for prenatal care, pediatric trained, as well as a family chiropractor. We also offer acupuncture and sauna services.
Sozo is a Greek word that means to heal, to make well, and to restore health. And that is our goal for each one of our patients who walks through the door.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Hello and welcome back to the Olathe District Activity Center for tonight's matchup between the Spring Hill Broncos as they've traveled north to Olathe North, where the scoreline sits at the half, 6-1 as the home team, Olathe North Eagles, are currently sitting pretty atop the leaderboard. Welcome into the halftime show, brought to you by Michael Gran at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Michael's goal is to help you plan for the unexpected and protect your future. Getting to know you and the things that are most important to you will help them customize the right plan for your needs. To learn more, visit them at 117 South Main in Spring Hill or call 913-592-2336. Special thank you to Michael Gran at Farm Bureau Financial Services for sponsoring this halftime show, which we're going to talk about this match's educational aspect, because clearly the scoreline has been fairly lopsided. The Broncos have done a nice job, though, of when they get down on themselves, they immediately come back. At no point during this game have I felt as though the Broncos were dragging their heads along the turf in sorrow. They're not having a pity party for themselves. They're still grinding. They're still pressing. They're still shooting the ball. Nothing about this team's body language shows that they don't care anymore. It'd be very easy for them to let in 5 goals right after the start of this second half and then go home early to a warm meal and get out of this cold weather. Head coach Eric Schwartz is not going to let that happen. He's built this program into a borderline 6A program for a reason. With that being said, traveling to a 6A program on your home opener or on your season opener is a very difficult thing to do. This team is fresh. They've got a lot of young minds, a lot of young spirit on this team. They're still learning each other's tendencies, and that's okay. They're going to slowly grow and learn things from this match. They may not be able to win it, but they will definitely try to take things away. We're going to talk more about some things they can take away when we come back after these messages. Keep it right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right. the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
You've been in there over 30 minutes. You don't pay the water bill, get out.
Wouldn't it be great if you could control your internet usage like other utilities?
I can.
No, I mean if you could control how much usage there was so you could save yourself money, like with water.
Yeah, I know. I already can with Go Brawley.
Oh, well, now you can. With the all-new app from Go Brawley, you'll have complete control from anywhere. Visit GoBrawley.com to learn more.
Spring Hill's hometown shop is J&T Auto Service. As a full-service repair shop, J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service. Call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
Supreme Mechanical Solutions is a heating, AC, and refrigeration company with over 25 years of experience. They install and maintain equipment for residential and commercial customers throughout Kansas City with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And they're available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Financing is available for system replacements. For supreme quality, think Supreme Mechanical Solutions. Learn more at smsofkc.com or call 913-43.
Education Foundation is about making a difference in a child's life to ensure they will have every opportunity to succeed in the classroom and beyond.
Welcome back to the Olathe District Activity Center here on Spring Hill Sports Live for tonight's matchup between the Olathe North Eagles, the home team, and the visiting Spring Hill Broncos. The score line for tonight's halftime stats, which are brought to you by Supreme Mechanical Solutions. When your thermostat is them out on Facebook or call, time stats are the Olathe North Eagles with 6 goals, the Spring Hill Broncos with 1 goal, but for the Olathe North Eagles, they have a very special occurrence that we don't see all that often in high school soccer. They have a hat trick. Kaylin Hitchcock scored 3 goals in 10 minutes, the 17th, the 21st, and the 26th minute. She put goals into the back of the net. Special evening for the sophomore number 5 from Olathe North, and that is our halftime stats. Sponsored by Supreme Mechanical Solutions. We'll be right back right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Supreme Mechanical Solutions is a heating, AC, and refrigeration company with over 25 years of experience. They install and maintain equipment for residential and commercial customers throughout Kansas City with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And they're available 24/7 for emergency repairs. Financing is available for system replacements. For supreme quality, think Supreme Mechanical Solutions. Learn more at smsofkc.com or call 913-433-4567.
Welcome back to the Olathe District Activity Center for tonight's matchup between the traveling Spring Hill Broncos and the home team, Olathe North Eagles. There is a decent amount of what looks like freezing rain starting to billow down on the players on an already frigid evening. It says it's 47 on my phone, but I can't help but call that that's a lie. It is very cold in here. We are wearing coats in the press box. It is freezing out here in Olathe, Kansas this evening. If you made the drive from Spring Hill and you're listening to us in your car, in the stands, something like that, special shout out to you for making the drive. But for those of you warm at home, we are jealous because it is warm on your couch, at your kitchen table, or wherever you are watching. We are getting ready for this second half kickoff, which is brought to you by Seats Incorporated. Kick off your new career with Seats Incorporated in Spring Hill. Seats is a leader in the manufacturing of quality seating and accessories for vehicles. With competitive wages and benefits, to see all their openings or to apply online, go to seatsinc.com. We are underway with the second half, and immediately the Eagles try to catch the Broncos out of position and unprepared for the second half, and it is out of play for a throw-in. Alex, what do we make of that early attack?
Yeah, well, I think what you see is the Eagles trying to exploit that space on the outside. We noted the relative youth, the relative inexperience. And also something I kind of noted during the first half was just the skill of the wide players for the Eagles. That is where the kind of gap between these two teams seems to be the most pronounced. And when you open up space out wide, that then draws center backs out to the middle. That's what we noted for maybe that, was it the fifth, maybe the sixth goal, where there was just tons of space in the middle of the box. That is why the Eagles want that space down the side.
And speaking of the middle of the box, the Eagles now pushing in towards the box. Avery Young, will come off her line to collect. But the Eagles had all that possession while you were talking just then. They were all in the attacking third. Everything was positive for the Eagles in that moment as a bit of this freezing rain starts to blow in on us. And it becomes apparent that to be a player out there at this moment would not be favorable. But what is favorable is to play the great game, the beautiful game of soccer. And we have the privilege of being here in Olathe this evening calling this matchup as the Eagles try to push forward out of the middle of the park. Dylan Davies' forward progression is cleared back towards the back line, and the home team will reset. While we are just warming into this second half, or rather freezing into this second half as the temperature may have it, let's talk about some area matchups, which are brought to you by the Elliott Insurance Group. At Elliott Group, they believe building strong relationships with their clients and their community is the best way to serve them both. With offices throughout the area and online at ElliottInsuranceGroup.com. A couple of the area matchups are home team Tonganoxie are welcoming the Atchison varsity girls team as that forward progression is offsides. Kaylin Hitchcock, while she may have 3 goals to her name this evening, is not going to get her fourth on that attempt as she was way offside to the naked eye. Even the assistant official on the near side could see that. Another area matchup is Shawnee Mission Northwest plays the home team to the visiting varsity girls of Piper High School. And the third and final, as this opportunity is saved by Avery Young. Really nice job from the keeper to parry that away with her right paw.
Yeah, Rottinghouse that time just kind of gifted possession, or her teammate was, and then quickly passed to her. And because Young was kind of passing out of the back, she was much closer to where that shot came in from than you would conventionally see out of any goalkeeper. But that's just pure reflexes there. None of that had to do with positioning. She was not in the right position. That's because her teammates turned over the ball. That's not her fault, but she made a really good save despite that.
Rottinghouse clearly trying to go for the chip shot there, looking to get a little bit more of a rainbow arc on that shot, curling it. But Avery Young was having none of it as there's some clear training tactics coming out here into the Tuesday night lights as it is. Here is Vogelbacher now trying to spring on the counterattack, and that is a no-go as the Eagles clear that back towards their baseline, eventually having to clear it out for a throw-in. Good pressure there from the senior Vogelbacher. Good work there. The Broncos will try to get something going off of this throw-in.
I like Vogelbacher just got kind of upset with that. The player or the staff member trying to get her the ball was not fast enough for her liking. We've seen Vogelbacher in some games we did last season. She is a fiery player that will be quite demonstrative with her emotions on the pitch, and that's something that you're sometimes a little wary of if that's your goalie, if that's your center back, but when that's your striker, it's just fun to watch.
Vogelbacher is nothing if not passionate, and she's trying to channel some of that passion here as she's closed down by 2 Eagle defenders. You can see her frustration in that moment. Clearly, the Eagles have done their homework, knowing that Vogelbacher is the Broncos' attack. Their focal point, and a missed clearance there from Avery Young, sees that ball go out of play for a throw-in.
Right, you could call that a missed clearance, or you could say that's Young not wanting the exact same thing that's already happened to happen again. She's passed out of the back a couple times, and then the backline players have immediately turned it over, and I think that may have been intentional. She might have just not wanted to pass to a teammate there, just get rid of the danger.
And the danger finds it anyway as an opportunity here, and it goes just wide. Well done from Avery Young to make herself as big as possible, but she was not needed to intervene on that occasion. The ball going just wide to the far side.
Yeah, Barrett Shores popping up there on the left side. That's not a name I think we said maybe at all during the first half. Is a player that did start this game, and that was a nice piece of skill there. Kind of opened her body as if she was going to shoot first time, and then taking it with the left. I mean, we're seeing a whole bag of technique here from Eagles players this evening.
Absolutely. Shores was lightly involved, a little sprinkle of involvement early in this match, but then was subbed off for Workman, and Workman was on the pitch for all 6 goals from the Eagles as that forward pass is gathered no problem by Young.
And one thing I would really love to see out of the Broncos is you are going to see the Eagles get a lot of sub players into this game, which, in any sport at any level, that likely causes the level to drop just a little bit as a nice save is made there. But that could open up opportunities because I don't expect the Broncos to alter kind of their sub pattern or whatever they want their lineup to be. They're just going to go right on ahead and continue to try to build cohesion, build chemistry, and that could cause possibly and hopefully for the Broncos a little bit of mismatch goal-scoring opportunities.
And Vogelbacher was hoping to get an opportunity there, be that mismatch or otherwise, off of this foul call by the center official. He then blew his whistle again, said, no, back it up about another foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, and try again.
And personally, I wish that would be a point of emphasis. They tend to not allow players to take free kicks quickly at this level.
And the Eagles now, as Hitchcock muscles her way past the defender, the center official sees the lowering of the shoulder, the extension of the arm, says his justification as he brings out a bit of a chicken wing there.
Yep.
Just outside of our picture, but I saw him here in the booth. He extended his arm almost in a chicken wing fashion. Free kick to Spring Hill.
Yeah, my initial reaction, despite my purple-tinted glasses that I watch all these games with, was, man, you got to let that play out there. But that arm shove is something that I like to see so that players don't have to be confused as to why some contact is allowed, not other kinds.
And I think that this, as the Eagles now get set to take their own free kick, referee saying, on my whistle you will play, I think that this foul call here, a bit of a makeup call as a free kick is awarded just outside the box. It's sent into the box, though. Ball is gently cleared out. Izzy Ferris trying to clear it only as far as an Eagle player, trying to get it onto her right foot, goes Shores, trailing it all the way back into the midfield.
And even from these free kicks that are very far out from the box, you still see Spring Hill, they're just marking player to player on each opponent. And again, there's no concept of an offside line when the Olathe North Eagles take any free kick from anywhere. And interested to see if that's something that may change. Of course, you not only rely on your players to hold that line, but you also rely on, and this is not to drag any official, I want to be very clear, but you also rely on the officials at this level to actually correctly call offsides, which is absolutely one of the hardest officiating calls to make.
Massive save there from Young as she parries that one away with her left hand. And then the Broncos trying to play out of pressure. But I 100% agree with you. At any level, being an official calling offsides is very difficult, let alone at a high school level where it is an educational sport environment, right? Many athletes may still not know what offsides is, how to play offsides, etc. Hopefully at the varsity level they do. And we just rely on these officials to accurately call those, as Vogelbacher looking for the best option. Eventually has to trail back to Bergman, who then brings it to the near side to Williams. Williams into the middle for Infante. Able to get another touch on it goes Williams, and it's parried into the middle of the park, where it finds the feet of Rottinghouse, one of the goal scorers on the evening for the Eagles. Hitchcock then comes forward and clears it in towards the middle of the attack. It bounces once into the feet of Shores. She now pairing this up with her right foot, and a massive save from Avery Young. Absolutely phenomenal goalkeeping from the junior.
Yeah, really good save there. Tried to frame it up and kind of went up and dived for that. You've seen the Eagles, they have kind of employed throughout this game that high school girls soccer special, that type of shot that you don't really see at any other level, where you're trying to exploit the height or lack thereof of goalkeepers at this level, with goals remaining the same size at every step of the game. And that results in a lot of exciting outside shots. It also results in a lot of opportunities to make acrobatic saves.
And hoping not to make any more acrobatic saves, at least for the time being, as Avery Young is in the net, as the Eagles were trying to play around her after that corner kick. Vogelbacher, though, on the ball now. Ferris getting tripped up. Vogelbacher surging forward on her own. Ball falls to Ferris. Center official allows for play on, and then notices Vogelbacher slow to get up. Rightly blows the play dead.
Great officiating.
Ferris had also given up the advantage by slowing down, seeing her teammate drop. As Alex said, just phenomenal officiating here from the center official. Hats off to him.
It's one of the hardest sports to officiate, and frankly, with comparatively to other nations, the lack of soccer culture in this country, there are not a lot of really great officials. That is something I'll tell you from having worked the JUCO game.
Russo sending this free kick in towards the box. Ferris there, able to get ahead on it. The goalkeeper came all the way out, pushes Ferris in the back, but eventually finds Russo. Now back towards Gracie Oppo, who's forced to play it to Bergman. Bergman finds Buchholz, and now back to Williams on this near sideline. The left back playing it forward, looking for Sprague. A nice turn there. Center official again playing on. And the play is eventually whistled dead as the Broncos gave up possession giving up, and then blowing. Take clips this in towards just the edge of the box, and a strong shoulder there from Ferris. Official calling that all day, every day, as he has here. Alex, you're shaking your head. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that unfortunately, that was a good opportunity for you saw the Spring Hill backline kind of passing back and forth there along the midline of the circle. But, I mean, I love the officiating that we just saw a couple of times. This is how you know we are nerds for this game. We're talking about the call. We're talking about the good quality officiating.
Hitchcock now has a ball in space, and a nice block there from Bergman, able to get her chest right in front of that cross. That's got to hurt in this cold weather, but it certainly did stop an attack. Well done from the sophomore, Haley Bergman.
Great to see, and that's where the wide players, frankly, throughout this game have just gone past their mark.
Counter-attacking opportunity that Hitchcock had found herself in, as now Abby Burton lays it off, looking towards the top of the box. Hitchcock wide in space, could have been offsides. Assistant referee says nothing, and the ball is blocked again by Avery Young. Assistant official on the near side says that the ball had gone across the baseline on the right side of the pitch, and a goal kick is awarded. Either way, that was an amazing parry down from Avery Young from a point-blank shot off of the foot of Aaron Rottinghouse.
Yeah, good job by the Eagles getting a whole lot of bodies in the box there, but yep, the Broncos catching a break on that one.
And sometimes a break is all we need. The Broncos have done...
Felt like no breaks in the first half. Felt like every time Eagles came forward, they scored.
Absolutely, but they have done a really nice job since coming out of the halftime dressing room talk. Whatever the head coach Eric Schwartz said at halftime, it's clearly paying off here, as the Broncos have not given up a goal in just about 15 minutes, just past that 14-minute mark now, as we are into the 16th minute of this half, the 56th overall. That throw-in goes out of play by Elizabeth Williams. 2 subs being made here by Olathe North, as they have a throw-in just on this near sideline around the midway line.
And I will say, it doesn't appear to be a tactical change. It appears that it's the same back four. You see the 3 back defenders right there, along with Elizabeth Williams kind of marking player to player there. The same back four type of formation. So you're right. Whatever he said, it's not a matter of strategy formation. It's a matter of that mentality.
Absolutely. And we've mentioned that time and time again, right?
Yep.
Not getting down, not dragging your head along the turf, just simply taking a deep breath. You're playing a bigger school. You will give up goals. It's part of the learning process, as the Eagles now try to make that learning process a little more difficult passing through the Broncos, as the Broncos still applying pressure with one body, at times 2 or 3. Hitchcock trailing. The cross goes into the box, and it is caught calmly by Avery Young as she comes off her line to catch that shot from Kate Figgins.
Young has looked very, very strong in this second half. In the first half, did a really good job rushing out, collecting, and frankly, I don't think a single one of those 6 shots was even remotely savable. It didn't seem like from the Eagles in the first half, but in the second half, Eagles putting some shots on frame, actually allowing her to show her goalkeeping ability, especially that reflex save earlier.
Agreed. She has done a really nice job, and as you mentioned in the first half, all 6 of those goals, Avery Young wasn't near them because she was blocking the smart position, right? She was in the right spot at the right time. She was in the right spot for her position. It was just the wrong time to be there, given the skill that Hitchcock and friends have shown here at the Olathe District Activity Center on this Tuesday night, as another corner kick is awarded, the 6th of the evening for Olathe North. Elizabeth Williams taking a knee on the pitch, calling for a substitute, having to walk off the pitch. She had a harsh tackle there at the end of this play, resulting in the corner kick.
See her behind the goal now.
Walking off the pitch as the Eagles have an opportunity. Avery Young able to get a hand to it. Referee spotted it. This foul is an interesting one. It's not called all that often, but what happened was Avery Young had both hands on the ball, and at this level, and any level, if you, as a field player, kick the ball out of the keeper's hands, that's a foul. And that's exactly what this call is.
And actually, that's one that at the higher levels, because, players are acting less instinctively, they really know what they're doing all the time, you can get carded for that. At the higher levels, they don't really tolerate that. They tell you got to know when the keeper has that ball, that is the keeper's ball. I have seen quite a bit, and this is something that's been on every level, a lot of physicality being allowed toward goalkeepers on corner kick situations. That's kind of a new wrinkle, or what I alluded to earlier, point of emphasis, it seems like, by officials to not just allow goalies to just go wherever they want and control the space and get their elbows out on corners. They don't really allow that anymore. As you see, looks like a Spring Hill player may be a victim of another harsh challenge. It is frigid right now. It feels so cold, only getting colder, and hitting the hard turf right now would probably hurt just as much as whatever contact gets made with the player.
Absolutely. It was Izzy Ferris who was down after that play. She was looking to turn her body almost 180 to send that ball forward for Vogelbacher. Ended up hitting the deck as a result from the contact from an Eagles player as this ball is back underway. Veronica Ferris was the intended target on that forward pass before it was cut out by the Eagles. Workman has checked in. She has been a major factor for this attack for the Eagles. She's come onto the pitch for Shores, who came off just a moment ago. Izzy Ferris that time clearing it in towards the box of the home team as their goalkeeper will collect. I want to give a special thank you to our presenting sponsor, Strode Orthodontics, specializes in creating beautiful, healthy smiles, as we will get back to that as Hitchcock now onside, says the assistant referee. Shot could be taken on her left, opts for the pass. Shot then saved massively by Avery Young, diving to her right, parrying it away. Secondary shot this time, and it goes begging as the Eagles can't quite get anything going.
Yeah, Young tipping that one onto the post, and the ball just thundering back out and yielding another opportunity. Unfortunately, that time it was Hitchcock that was played onside by some poor positioning on the far side. A defender that was not involved in the play whatsoever had just retreated too deep, and Hitchcock, for such a young player especially, very alert to that, was able to charge down the field. Teammates found her.
And that's just more of that preseason rust, right? This is your first competitive game coming back from spring break last week where you don't have practices and a short preseason. This is going to be a bit of a challenge. It was always going to be a challenge going up against a 6A, especially under the circumstances, cold weather, short training sessions, missing a week, and only having one day to prepare for this game after spring break as the Eagles now have a throw in. Center official says no, this is a Bronco throw. So back to Strode Orthodontics we go. Healthy smiles, and Dr. Claire Strode and the staff at Strode Orthodontics is experienced, highly trained, and fully licensed orthodontic specialist with decades of combined experience in the orthodontic field. With locations in Spring Hill, Olathe, and Overland Park. Learn more at strodeortho.com. Olathe North now. Workman on the ball, sending it to the far side. Shores cutting it back, looking for the cross, takes it with the right foot, looking for Hitchcock. Beautiful parry down from Avery Young, and an even better clearance from the substitute, Maya Lozano, who came on for Elizabeth Williams, who had to go off just a few moments ago with an injury. Great redemption there from Maya Lozano to push this out for a corner kick.
And going back to talking about this young Bronco defense, I want to be clear, this is an assumption that I'm making, but I know how it works. I know nobody starts out as a center back, right? Good players are played far up the field, and so when you have young players on the varsity roster, I would dare say this could be some of their first competitive action, even playing in this position in general. And that's why you see some of that positioning or lack thereof, just because of that. Not only inexperience at this level, but just inexperience at that position completely. Because when you're a youth soccer player, you just want the ball, you want to score goals, and you want to be the best player on your team. The number 10 is that player. And that's the position that a lot of girls who are going to go on to be mainstays of a varsity soccer roster grow up playing those forward positions. And similar to first base in baseball, nobody starts out at first base. Eventually, everyone's a shortstop and a center fielder when they get drafted. And it's center back is similar.
Massive save there from Avery Young as she just jumps with her body in the air and punches that ball over the bar. Great opportunity from Workman that time, but Avery Young, stalwart in this second half, not allowing anything as the Eagles now get their 9th corner of the match.
And what do Olathe North do? They score goals in bunches, as it looks like I misidentified what corner this one's coming from. But what's the best way to defend against that? Don't let them get the first one. Then they can't score goals in bunches because they didn't get that initial one to make the dam break.
To your point with center backs not starting as center backs, and everybody gets drafted as a shortstop, right?
Right.
You have to put in your time elsewhere on the pitch, and a lot of the times, Haley Young, as she comes off her line, ball falls to Veronica Ferris, looking for the run of Peyton Vogelbacher. She will find number 20, the striking leader for the Broncos, and she is eventually pressed out of bounds. Ball going with her.
That's maybe the unfortunate side of the adjustment, that you really saw a lot of players running with Vogelbacher in that first half. But in the second half, way more resolute defensively. Unfortunately, not quite getting the bodies up in support of Vogelbacher. I think, though, with the game as it stands, I think everyone is going to take that. And was that a flash of lightning that came from the right? I'm not sure. No but way. I know that is, that's not something I want to speak into existence. Definitely
you better knock on the table we are working off of, my friend.
But that, of course, that automatically stops the game.
The Eagles now pressing in towards this corner flag. Finding space, and another save from Avery Young. Avery Young has been immense all game, but just specifically in the second half, the last 15 minutes, she has been an absolute knight in shining armor in this goal for the Broncos.
And doing a lot of these saves with one strong hand. I really like to see that. Really great wrist strength to parry those balls.
Very impressive goalkeeping, and the ability to just throw her body with no regard for her own safety. As my mother used to tell me when I was a child, this is the only body you have. Avery, this is the only body you have. And she is using it to massive effect here in this second half. Veronica Ferris trying to do the same, pressing onto this ball, applying pressure like we haven't seen from the Broncos in that type of field position, able to win the throw-in. Can the Broncos garner some momentum? They have 15 minutes remaining in this match. Can they build something off of this field position off of this throw? We will find out shortly. Ball's thrown in towards Izzy Ferris, the number 10. Not everybody can be number 10, but on this Broncos team, one can, and that's Izzy Ferris, as her progress goes out of play for a goal kick.
I was just kind of watching number 9, Kunmi Fisheru, that last time for Olathe North, and because they haven't had much possession of the ball in their own half and their own center backs kind of passing it around, we haven't really talked about this Eagles backline much, but that is for that exact reason. They're just so efficient. They clear the ball so quickly when they face attacks. Fisher, the one that time who kind of cleared that initial attack and then was just resolute in the center of the box.
And resolute the Broncos will have to continue to be, is that an opportunity now is Abby Burton pressing in on this ball into the attacking third for the Eagles. Bringing it back towards the top of the box, looking for the pass central with her left foot. It's cleared away by Bergman before being collected at the halfway line. Peyton Vogelbacher dropping all the way back into her defensive third, trailing it back to Young, who takes a nice first touch, weighs her options further up the field, opting for Rousseau, and it just slightly overcooks it. Goes out of play for an Eagles throw.
One thing that really, I think, is a good trend for the Broncos is that the two standout performers of this game are Vogelbacher and Avery Young. And another baseball comparison, you want your best defenders up the middle. You want your best players in the front and in the back. And that's something that, in various matchups, we may see a Spring Hill midfield totally in control of a game, totally passing among themselves. That's not what we're seeing today. But I think in every single game, we will see Young starring in goal, and we will see Vogelbacher on the charge.
It's a part of that spine of the team, right? You want to have strong leaders, and you want to find where they are in that spine. The Broncos have had a lot of turnover in their leadership in that spine of the team, straight up the center of the pitch, as the Eagles look with another shot and another save from Avery Young. I wish I was keeping that focal point in this defense. Another opportunity here as Kate Figgins presses in and another corner kick, the 10th. I can keep track of those. They're coming fast, but not that fast. 10 corners now for the Eagles as they will make 2 more substitutions.
And to borrow terminology from our friends from across the pond, that is called skinning a defender. When you just absolutely just move past the marker as if she wasn't there. And there's 2 components to that. The one that we've highlighted, the Spring Hill outside defenders have been struggling throughout this game to keep up, both just physically and also with the technique, but also speaks to the remarkable technical ability of the Eagles.
That it does. And speaking of remarkable ability, yet another amazing job by Avery Young. And I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record to those of you at home, but it is truly immense on her as the nice job sending it towards Bergman. Looking for Izzy Ferris, finds her, and Ferris clipping it forward, bouncing off a defender, finding Vogelbacher, who tries to send the run. Rousseau was not quite going to be able to get there, but does apply enough pressure to trail the ball back to the keeper.
Again, really excellent positioning there by the Eagles. See this for Spring Hill, one defender marking player to player, which is, a good fundamental concept, but the rest of the defensive line was much higher up the field, and you don't have to defend that player if you step up.
And what we've seen from the Broncos in this second half that has made their survival in this game so good is that when the Eagles get a counterattacking opportunity or they try to press into the attack, they send one player down one of the 2 wings with the ball, trying to get numbers slowly in towards the top of the box. But what the Broncos have done really nice in those situations is they send that one fullback, that one winger, the one midfielder to track back with that attacker, and they force that player in towards the corner flag to force them to cut it back and then try to reset. And that has been so key for the Bronco defense in keeping this match at 6-1 for the last 30-plus minutes.
And I do want to add to that what may be construed as like a light criticism of that backline positioning. Easy for me to say from up here, it was Hitchcock was the player that was being marked player to player back there. She's already put 3 past you. So again, easy for me to say from up here, just leave her, just step up, just play the offside. But, last time that the Broncos lost track of her, even for a moment, she produced brilliance.
And the Broncos hoping that the Eagles will lose track of them as Peyton Vogelbacher is fouled. Strong tackle there. A stoppage of the clock is called for by the center official with his arms in an X motion. Vogelbacher down after this tackle. Head coach Eric Schwartz will come out. The athletic trainer will come out here at the...
Given so much to this game, trying to be the outlet for the Broncos, and that's been tough, especially in this second half where, we've been lauding the praise on Avery Young, but really this entire team with an excellent response. Would love to have seen them go into the locker room 4-1. Those last 2 goals before the half, those really hurt. But I think we may step away here.
Soccer action at ODAC on Spring Hill Sports Live. Keep it right here.
Repair shop J&T Auto Service works on all makes and models. Diesels, Europeans, they do it all. From combines to Corvettes. Visit J&T Auto Service for oil changes, tires, brakes, alignments, electrical diagnostics, and so much more. Small town, friendly service with high-tech tools and training. Schedule your service at J&T Auto Service.
Hometown veterinarians who know and care about your family. We provide cutting-edge diagnostic services, digital radiology, ultrasound, and in-house same-day blood work, chiropractic, and reproductive services. Come in and see us at our new location here in Paola in the Industrial Park with indoor cattle and equine facilities complete with a hydraulic tip chute. With a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Welcome back for the resumption of play here. As the score line still stands, the home team Eagles 6, the visiting Broncos 1. Ball will resume play as referee calls for the resumption of play. It wasn't a foul as the ball is being thrown back into play by the Broncos. It was a clean tackle. It was just a very hard tackle, and any kind of contact in this cold weather will track it back into the defense for the Broncos. Young opting to lump it long, but under the heavy wind, as you can see on your screen, with the mist raining down, this freezing mist. It's almost an annoyance if you're out there on the pitch because you want it to rain. If it's going to rain, make it rain. Don't make it mist. Or make it snow if it's going to be this cold. Don't make it do exactly what it's doing now.
Well, there is so much precipitation that it is literally causing a glow around the lights. It's an annoyance to us too. It's making it tough. The glare on these white jerseys. I think that's where you can see it. As I'm trying to pan left here, you can really see how much precipitation is blowing from left to right on your screen.
The gusts in the top left corner of your screen under those lights is definitely where it is most visible as the Eagles take this opportunity quickly, trying to play it down the far side of their line, finds Ferris at the top of the box, and she tries to clear it. Olathe North then try to garner a bit more momentum, trying to attack with a bit more pace down that far side, and a bit too much was the verdict as it goes out of play for a throw-in.
So I got to own up to when I'm wrong. And one thing I've been wrong about is the Olathe North Eagles. They have not done with substitutes what I assumed or maybe thought they would. Hitchcock, you still got a whole lot of the starting players out there. So the reason this game has stayed at 6-1 has not been because the Eagles have kind of changed approach or changed personnel. It is solely because the Broncos have really locked in and tightened things up here in the second half.
And Kylie Sprague is able to garner some momentum. Offsides is the call as number 14, the freshman McKenna Estes, who's been off and on in this match, is just offsides off of a really nice run out of the midfield from Kylie Sprague, another freshman from Spring Hill. So some good combo play there from the young guns in this very young varsity Bronco team. Promising. Nothing too productive, though, but promising nonetheless. Bergman using her body well on that forward ball. Eagles trying to get their 7th of the night with just about 6 minutes remaining. Good use of her body. And Alex, we are going to come to you in just a moment to give us all of the juicy deets about when you can watch the Spring Hill girls soccer right here on Spring Hill Sports Live for the rest of the season.
All of the Broncos spring sports this season. So our next broadcast here on Spring Hill Sports Live will be a baseball cast on Monday, April the 3rd. That is a game against DeSoto. Tuesday, April 4th will be a softball doubleheader, so 2 in a row. I will be with you for those contests. Another softball doubleheader Wednesday, April the 12th, and then a baseball doubleheader on Monday, April 17th. All those doubleheaders, they tend to start at 4:30. And then another girls soccer game coming your way on April the 21st. That is a Friday against Blue Valley. So another 6A
major save
matchup
there from Avery Young. I'm so sorry to cut you off,
No, you're
Alex,
good.
but a deep shot was taken by number 20, Dylan Davies, from about 30 yards out, and a massive diving parry down from Young before she jumped onto it and then clears it long.
And then, so there are 3 games that will not be carried by Spring Hill Sports Live. They will be carried by the other school involved in this. And so that's important as well. On Thursday, March 30th, that is against Tonganoxie. And then a baseball doubleheader rivalry against Lewisburg. And then finally, girls soccer on April the 25th. That is in Baldwin. So that is why we will not be traveling there. Baldwin, though, is one of our sister nets. Our guy, BJ Harris, you guys in Spring Hill know him very well. Very thankful for this spring coverage.
And Hitchcock's played on sides here as she tries to make her way past Avery Young, but it's a no thank you from the keeper as she makes a major save down to her right, parries it away, forcing the ball all the way back into the midfield for the home team. My word, what a save from Avery Young. And again! Avery Young has been nothing short of incredible in the second half with 2 massive saves to keep this game at 6-1.
And why do you keep a game on? If your team is losing 6-1, you keep it on so that you can see this ridiculous performance by Young. And that second one was a great save going at the near post, but that first one, the 2-on-1 after the total defensive breakdown there, she had absolutely no business saving that shot and just charged out and made herself quite large and smothered the opportunity.
And smother this clock goes the home team as they make several substitutions. Center official pausing play here, coming towards the press box to adjust the time on the clock, as it is within the last 5 minutes of the match. So the referee can stop the clock at any moment during the game, but specifically in the final 5 minutes of the match, you will see them stop the clock more frequently.
And I'm just trying to keep the clock in the box right now.
And there is the 7th. A corner kick from number 20, Dylan Davies, sails in towards the 6-yard box, and it's headed calmly by number 13, Corinna Friels, I believe. And they pull one more goal ahead. 7-1 to the home team here. And this lesson just becomes a whole lot more difficult.
Yeah, and as much as we've kind of praised as I'm actively making the situation worse here with the score bug, but as much as we've praised the resilience by the Spring Hill Broncos, you also have to compliment the tenacity by the Eagles. They have been attacking relentlessly. They have not been dissuaded by the fact that, they haven't been rewarded by goals necessarily in this second half, but until now.
And it's been a story of Olathe North almost this whole game, right?
Right.
But in the second half, they have not been the story. The Broncos and their grit to stay in this game has been the story, as Workman sends another great cross in towards the middle, and it's blocked even better by the Broncos, clearing it out towards the top of the box where the Eagles are forced to have some intricate passing to try to maintain possession under the pressure. Heilman sending it forward, looking for Hitchcock, trying to find her 4th on the evening. The ball goes all the way through to Young.
And with 2:40 to go, trying to get that back in there. That's a nice piece of play there in the midfield.
Ball is cleared in towards the middle by Young. Buchholz sends it central, and it falls to the feet of Heilman. Looking for Hitchcock. Great crisp pass there from the midfielder from Olathe North. Looking for the return pass, and Avery Young not allowing another one past her. Comes off her line and scoops it up safely before clearing it away.
Man, with Hitchcock, it's almost like, where do you even want to put her on the field? Do you want her as a number 9 waiting for that chance to just volley it into the goal like we saw her do earlier? Do you want to have her as the number 10, turning, spinning, midfield, playing a beautiful pass like that? We've also seen her pop up on the wing and skinning the defenders over there. So this is an attacking player that can go at you in many different ways, and certainly one of the more special talents that I personally have seen in the high school game.
And a beautiful ball played through for Workman as she looks for a central cross, and another great opportunity that Avery Young saves. It's something about Hitchcock that she is just able to get some part of her body in the way of a crossed ball and direct it on target. It is something that I have seen in very few individuals in my years of watching. And Hitchcock certainly she just has it. She's the it factor for this team. Without her on this pitch, this scoreline is certainly very different. It may still be not close, but it is definitely more motivational for the Broncos as Workman again with the ball, cutting it back this time. In towards the box, forced towards the byline, and a nice tackle there from Bergman. Sees the ball out of play with 50 seconds remaining, just under 50 seconds remaining, as a 12th corner kick for the home team will take place, likely to be the last, if not close to the last, occurrence of this match. 30 seconds now remain. Scoreline still 7-1. Workman sending it towards the top of the box. Okay, using her body nicely in the box. Hitchcock finds the ball, looks for Heilman before it's cleared away by Izzy Ferris, and surely that will keep this score the way it is with 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think there might have been contact in the box there, but with it being fairly negligible and pretty much two players coming together, I don't think you're ever going to see a penalty awarded at the game flow situation that we were at there at the end.
And so with that, the final whistle of this match here at the Olathe District Activity Center, this match comes to a close. The traveling Broncos won. The home team, Olathe North High School Eagles, 7. We'll be right back with more Spring Hill Sports Live for our post-game show, brought to you by Shoemaker Collision Repair and Paint Center, right after these messages.
Collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com. Rain Dance Studios is the area's newest dance studio with professionally trained staff, a brand new facility, and classes for every dance and tumbling level. Rain Dance Studios is everything you never knew you needed in a dance family. With an emphasis on customer experience, exquisite dance technique, and dancer confidence, Rain is the dance studio for every aspiring dancer. Come join Spring Hill's premier dance experience and get the royal treatment. Schedule a free 2-week trial by visiting raindancestudios.com.
First Option Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Stoes with Paola Veterinary Clinic. We'd like to thank you for trusting us with the care of your pets and large animals. At Paola Vet Clinic, we're proud to be your hometown vets who know and care about your family. Coming soon, a new location here in Paola in the industrial park with cattle haul-in and boarding and grooming. With 24-hour emergency services and 3 other locations in Lewisburg, Drexel, and Martin City, and a team of 11 veterinarians, our commitment to this community makes Paola Vet Clinic the vets you can trust.
Hi, I'm Katie Casey, and I'm honored to be a third-generation realtor in our Crown Realty family. My dad and grandparents started Crown Realty in 1973, and since then we have grown to become one of the largest brokerages in the Midwest. We now have 8 office locations and over 150 agents covering about 20 counties across Kansas and Missouri. Reach out to us today to experience the Crown Realty difference, where we are committed to treating our agents like family and our clients like royalty.
Hello and welcome back to the Olathe District Activity Center here with the postgame brought to you by the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center. They work with all insurance companies and can get you back on the road in no time. To learn more, visit them online at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095. Tonight's final score was the Broncos from Spring Hill 1 and the home team, the Olathe North Eagles 7. So, Alex, what I want to talk about in this post-game show is the spine of Spring Hill. It's obviously their first match of the season, right? They're going to have some hiccups here and there. The first half, defense had its moments of whoa, and in the second half, they definitely learned. They grew. They solidified. They got stronger as they went. But something that we mentioned during the broadcast was the spine of a team, having Peyton Vogelbacher up top, having Avery Young in the back. What's missing is those midfield connector parts,
right.
Finding those leaders in the center of the pitch. What went wrong tonight in the middle of the park that they could improve on?
Yeah, I think it's always going to be, you're always going to have more defensive more defensive demands on you as a 5A coming into a 6A, as frankly anyone in the state of Kansas playing anyone from the Sunflower League. That's just how it's going to be on some level. But right, there wasn't a whole lot of passing outside of that opening 10 minutes. And I don't necessarily think that was an energy thing. I think that is the fact that, Olathe North have a lot of more experienced midfielders that were unfortunately just able to play through. Something we noted, one of the first things that I noted was Olathe North playing on the floor from the goal kicks. And part of that was because they felt, before they kind of realized, actually we want to exploit the outside matchups, they felt we have an advantage in the center of the pitch. And we did, like I said, we saw 1 to 2 nice little passing movements before they tried to feed Vogelbacher. But it's hard, especially when you have a very vocal, emotional center forward like we noted about Vogelbacher, who is going to get on your case if you don't get her the ball up quickly. Sometimes you need that midfield link. You need those midfielders to play together and then work the ball up to her in a system that requires, patience from Vogelbacher, which I don't personally see being an issue later on in the season. I think she'll be fine in that regard, but it's also going to require what is currently lacking is that continuity of the midfielders, of knowing exactly where each other are going to be when they turn. And again, this is part of a player's progression. You see players, usually they start as a wide back. That's where you see a lot of freshmen playing because they're very raw and they're very athletic, and you don't need to make very many choices. You boot the ball away, you clear it away, and you zoom up and down the sideline. You just run hard and try hard. But players in the middle of the field, they have a whole lot of decisions to make. And that is something that your Spring Hill Broncos are going to have to grow into throughout the season, is that responsibility. Fortunately, I just said Blue Valley later in the season, that's going to be a home game for the Broncos, but most of the Bronco opponents will not be this difficult, will not have the offensive arsenal that Olathe North did possess tonight. But that is going to need to improve, and likely we should see it. No reason that we shouldn't see it improve for the Broncos.
And what you mentioned early in that was yes, and you did a fantastic job of highlighting the spine and talking about the pieces that will show improvement, because players are playing new roles on this team, right? They're used to playing in those wide backs and in those different positions, and we talked about it during the broadcast. So they're going to be having to come out of their traditional positions where they're most comfortable. It's like going from always wearing small T-shirts when you're a child to when you hit puberty and you start to have to wear medium shirts because the smalls feel a little too small. But when you put on a medium shirt for the first time, it's way too big on you and you feel uncomfortable and awkward about it. That's what's happening out here on the pitch. These players have just put on their medium shirts, so the role is still a little bit too big for them. They're not quite comfortable in it yet, but as they wear that shirt more, in this position more, they're going to get more comfortable. They're going to find, having this little extra space here with my arm, it's so nice, right? It's not so tight to my armpit. Having this space where I can turn under pressure and lay this ball out to the wing is so much more freeing than always being under pressure as a defender. It's those moments that these players are going to learn from as the season grows and grows, and we are so excited to highlight all of that growth right here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Thank you so much for sticking through this cold evening, this long match. Final score, Broncos 1, Olathe North 7. For Alex Smith, I'm Tristan Jordan. Please come back and see us again right here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
You've been watching Spring Hill High School Sports on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by and be sure to catch every second of the action right here on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.